Hello, welcome back to Healthy Living Unplugged, the podcast where we dive into real, down to earth ways to live healthier, feel better, and reconnect with what truly matters. Today's episode is a special one. It is called Eat Like Your Ancestors, the Forgotten Secrets of Natural Nutrition. We're going to explore how our ancestors ate, why it was so nourishing, and how we can tap into their wisdom to improve our health today. Because let's face it, somewhere along the line, we've lost touch with the food that sustains us. Let's take a moment to pause and think about this. How many times a day do we eat something that doesn't truly nourish us? Maybe it's that quick processed snack you grab from the vending machine, or the pre-packaged meal that looks nothing like food from nature. We live in a world where everything is fast, convenient, and frankly artificial. But our bodies, they haven't evolved to handle all this processed stuff. So what would happen if we went back to eating like our ancestors? The truth is, eating like our ancestors doesn't mean going back to hunting wild animals or living off the land in some extreme way. It simply means going back to basics. It's about eating real whole foods. It's about cutting out the chemicals and preservatives and choosing what grows naturally. And when we start doing that, when we reintroduce these simple, time-tested eating habits, we can experience real change in how we feel, how we look, and how we live. So let's start by understanding what ancestral eating really means. What does eating like your ancestors really mean? First of all, our ancestors didn't have supermarkets. They didn't have pre-packaged foods, artificial flavors, or diet pills. What they had were the basics: fruits, vegetables, meats, grains, and herbs, all grown and prepared in simple ways. They didn't count calories, they counted nutrients. They didn't eat for convenience, they ate for survival, nourishment, and health. One key aspect of ancestral eating is seasonality. Back then, food wasn't available year-round like it is today. People ate with the seasons, which meant eating more fresh produce when it was available. In lean times, they ate preserved foods like fermented vegetables, root vegetables, and dried meats. And so, why does seasonal eating matter today? Eating seasonally isn't just a trendy thing. It's something that nourished our ancestors and is still good for us today. First of all, seasonal foods are fresher, often more nutrient-dense, and packed with flavor. So when we eat foods that are grown locally and in season, they haven't spent days or weeks in transit and thereby losing some of their nutrients. Now I know what you're thinking, but it's so much easier to grab a snack from the store. Well, I get it. Convenience is tempting, but what if we could shift the way we view food? Okay, let's get practical. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but how do I actually start eating like my ancestors in today's world? Well, here are a few simple, everyday ways to reconnect with ancestral eating habits. 1. Start with local whole foods. Wherever possible, buy from your local farmers market. You're getting fresh, seasonal, and often organic produce that is closer to what your ancestors would have eaten. If you can, try growing your own food, even if it's just a few herbs or tomatoes. 2. Go for home-cooked meals. Instead of buying pre-packaged meals, try cooking from the scratch. It doesn't need to be complicated, just simple ingredients like whole grains, fresh veggies, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Think soups, stews, and casseroles. 3. Bring back fermentation. One of the healthiest things our ancestors did was ferment their food. You see, fermented foods are rich in probiotics, which are great for our gut health. Start with simple fermented foods like sauerkraut. It's easier than you think, and the benefits are huge. 4. Slow down and eat mindfully. Our ancestors didn't have fast food. They sat down, shared meals, and savored every bite. Try to slow down and eat with presence. No distractions, no multitasking, just you and your food and the moment. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel afterward. So far, this is getting interesting, but what are the real health benefits of eating like your ancestors? Now you might be wondering, does this really make a difference? Yes, it absolutely does. Eating like your ancestors isn't just about nostalgia, it's about improving your health in tangible ways. First, you're likely to see an increase in energy. When we stop relying fully on processed foods that are filled with refined sugars and chemicals, our bodies can function better. Real foods provide steady energy that lasts. Secondly, you might experience better digestion. Whole foods and fermented foods help maintain a healthy gut microbiome, which supports digestion, immunity, and overall wellness. Third, you'll feel more connected to your food. Now, when you choose food with care and intention, it becomes more than just fuel. It becomes a source of joy, nourishment, and connection, something our ancestors truly understood. Personally, I've felt the difference in my own life. When I started focusing on whole seasonal foods, I noticed fewer cravings for unhealthy foods and more stable energy levels and also better sleep. Even my mental clarity improved. It was like my body remembered how to thrive when it had the right fuel. And it wasn't hard. It's about making small shifts. Instead of buying pre-packaged snacks, I started making homemade granola or roasting vegetables. Instead of relying on sugary drinks, I learned to love herbal teas and homemade broth. And trust me, when you see and feel the benefits, it becomes easier to stick with it. So, what is the takeaway from today's episode? It's simple. You don't have to go back to the Stone Age, but you can reconnect with the wisdom of those who lived close to the land. Our ancestors ate real food, took time to prepare it, and appreciated the nourishment it gave them. Now it's your turn. Try one thing this week. Maybe it's making a meal from scratch. Maybe it's buying a seasonal vegetable and trying something new. Maybe it's taking a moment to sit down and savor each bite, enjoy each mouthful. Let's get back to what nourishes us and start eating like our ancestors. Thanks for listening to Healthy Living Unplugged. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Until next time, stay healthy, stay grounded, and eat like your ancestors.